Until early this morning, some here in Kiev doubted that he would do it. Not anymore. The West warned Vladimir Putin was about to attack. He said he had no such plans. That fiction now utterly exposed.
The invasion, the attack that Russia...
In Ivano-Frankivsk, in the far southwest, a missile struck an airport. Explosions right across this vast country. Whatever Russia says, this attack will not be surgical. Within hours, Russian tanks were reported to be on the streets of Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv. To the east of Kharkiv, emergency workers battle to control fires in residential buildings hit by rockets. The number of civilian casualties is rising. At Mariupol in the south, another airport on fire. This country's civilian infrastructure is being heavily struck. There are no more flights in or out. Unverified images from Ukraine's northern and southern borders seem to show columns of Russian armour entering from Belarus and Crimea. But the map shows a country under attack from east to west, north to south.
This attack is working out exactly the way Western leaders have been warning for weeks. The country is being attacked from all directions, and the fear now has to be that some of those Russian troops are heading here to the capital. Some people aren't waiting to find out what happens next. The roads out of Kiev jammed with traffic, most of it heading west. These people don't want to be liberated by Vladimir Putin. After weeks of extraordinary calm, this suddenly looks like panic. Mid-morning and two jets fly over the city. It's not clear whose, but it seems only a matter of time before Russia controls the air, and much besides. BBC News, Kiev.
Well, people here in Kiev woke to the sound of air raid sirens up above as citizens who long prayed for peace now had to face war. My colleague Nick Beak has been gauging the thoughts of some of the people here to the extraordinary unfolding events.
We soon find Lana and her mum. Russia forced them from their home in Crimea 8 years ago. Now they're on the move again.
It's very, very nervous and I'm very scared. But I must be strong.
After the overnight attacks from the skies, many are taking refuge underground. Well, this feels like one of the safest places in the city today, not just because there are lots of soldiers about, but because the metro is doubling up as a bomb shelter. And overnight families have come down here. They're trying to follow the news of what's happening, and they're trying to work out what they're going to do next. 2-year-old Yegor is still smiling, but his mum and dad are worried.
It's 8 bombs.
8 bombs.
8 bombs.
And a Borisopol.
English.
War start.
I'm very, very scared for my boy, Alexander says. Then both parents ask, where in NATO to help us? When the bombs started falling, sales manager Mark helped his neighbours leave their homes. He tells me he's now ready to fight on the front line and die for his country.
It's only one way to serve our country, our children, our mothers, and defend our country from Russian occupation. And we will fight all day.
Many are fearful of what will come next, among them Alexei.
If Russia will occupy Kiev, which I don't believe happen, because I believe in our army, well, it will be like another Nazi occupation.
It's still eerily quiet here in the heart of the capital. It seems many have followed government advice to stay at home. Lots of people will have also heard Russia's claim that it carried out targeted strikes on the Ukrainian military. I've got to tell you, people here are saying it doesn't feel like that to them. Instead, they feel that they're under attack and that President Putin has declared war on them. Nick Beak, BBC News.
Launching a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Russian stocks plunged. The ruble hit an all-time low. fears of conflict superseded by the shock of a war and what may come next.
Vladimir Putin comes across now as a leader with an almost messianic idea to force Ukraine back into Moscow's orbit, even if that means war. What the public might think about that doesn't come into it. He seems determined to achieve his goal.
Мы против, чтоб весь мир знал.
In the center of Moscow, we're against the war, she says, and we want the whole world to know that. But so far, few Russians have come out to protest. Maybe this is why. In Russia now, protests end like this.
I'm sorry, I'm so shocked. I just can't help crying. I think that most of Russians don't support this. It's horrible.
And why don't they support it?
Because it's not our war, it's war Putin, Biden or anyone else, but not our nation.
I think the Ukrainian soldiers will surrender, she says, and they should. It's terrible to be at war with Ukraine. This is not a conflict the Russian public wants. This is the Kremlin's war. Steve Rosenberg, BBC News.
Striking military installations, including air bases near the capital, Kiev. And more military targets in several other Ukrainian cities, including Kharkiv, the biggest city in eastern Ukraine. Russia claimed to have eliminated much of Ukraine's defenses, but the Russian reports appear exaggerated. Several videos showed what Ukrainian officials described as by the country may be trying to take Ukraine without having to fight hard for it, appealing to the military not to resist. But there are no signs Ukrainians are raising the white flag. While some Ukrainians in Kiev were heading out of the capital, many are determined to stay and resist. In Mariupol, people this morning were stocking up on cash, with long lines. Supermarkets were flooded too, 45-minute waits for checkout. This is our Ukraine. I'm staying. I'm calm. I'm even smiling, said Ivan. Ukraine has mobilized its forces and begun to defend its cities. The government is calling for urgent blood donations to treat the growing but still unclear number of casualties.